All right, all you wonderful boys and girls. Mark, Centerline Systems. Hey, we're here at the bunker. You can't see him. He's behind the camera, but he's here. Spoon is in the house. What? Hey, we're going to have a little bit of fun here, shooting a couple of videos on Wednesday, the 10th of January. And finally got some spoons so we can do a little bit of help. And I'm just going to jump right in. This video is going to be an explanation of why there's a Deuce or an M2 or the second generation mother. And you don't see the old mother canteen carrier on the website. And this is the reason why. So here, actually, while we're doing this, I'm having a little fun here with technology. Let me just pull this slide up. This is part of the reason why that you guys can see right now is, so this is a picture from the website of what we were calling the GCC. And when we first came up with the GCC, go see some of the previous videos. That was all based on customer feedback. Hey, I want it a little larger to accommodate this canteen or this new style canteen. And so we did that. And as we kind of move forward in life here, and as a business, I mean, look, we still sell lots of other canteen carriers, but we sell a lot more of the GCCs. And why do you think that is, Spoon?
Because you can fit more stuff in it.
Bigger is better. I mean, better to have and not need than need and not have, says the big guy behind the camera, right? Yeah, you can just fit more stuff in there. So that little slide I pulled up, you kind of see that that's on the website here. I'm just going to pull up another slide here. And then just to show you can see, and then I'm going to bring my mother and my GCC, which is now the Deuce, and I'm going to do a little load up. But here, just another picture. So here, now you can see, I mean, so look, it's the same product. The GCC was the same as the MCC. It's just that it's larger. It's just a lot larger, and you can fit a lot more gear in it. I mean, that's just what it boils down to. Matter of fact, and before I get into the gear, I got to do this because we're already having fun already this year. So here's to Stephen C. Last name starts with a C. Stephen from Massachusetts. Stephen had ordered a mother, wanted to upgrade to a GCC. Obviously there's a price difference, and I was having fun, and I'm like, oh, okay, and I wrote this number down. Yeah, you can see it. Good enough. But I'd written this down, and I said, hey, if you guess the number exactly, we'll do the upgrade, no cost whatsoever. If you're within 2 points, of the number, I'll only charge you half. And if you're 2 points in the other way, well, then, outside of 2 points, then you have to pay the whole upgrade. He nailed it perfectly. I wrote down 7 and he got 7. So Stephen, congratulations. You got a free upgrade to from a mother, the old mother, to the new Deuce, or what used to be called the GCC. Hey, and on that note right there, you should see, and if you've talked to me on the phone, look, I know I'm probably doing this all wrong as a business. Yes, I should send an invoice, because $3, it adds up over time. But there's been plenty of people who've caught me in those, those moods, and I'm like, it'll take me more time and effort to go over and do a PayPal invoice for $1.50. Here you go. Merry Christmas. Have a beer on me. So again, good job, Stephen. All right. So what I'm going to do in this video real quickly is I'm going to take, so this is my mother canteen carrier. Right, it's still fully loaded. Now I'm going to take that, and I'm just going to show you what I carried in that, and I'm just going to load it over to a Deuce, formerly known as the GCC, and so you get a sense of just how much more you can carry inside of the Deuce. Now, I think before I start, because actually, I got to go back a step here. There we go. So there's two different types of canteens. These have been Cerakoted by our friends at Fog Firearms, but this is a USGI style standard. You can see it's got the more, I don't know, we don't call it oval, oblong type of shape to it. It's the USGI. There's a lot of companies. Jack over at Black Scout Survival has one of these now too. He's making this. This is titanium. It's a 2-cup system, and you can see it's more squared off. So if you go back and look at some of the other videos, one of the reasons we made the mother canteen carrier was because this canteen was out. There was a couple different companies who were using it. And it just doesn't, that canteen, it can fit inside of the mother, but it's kind of a pain. Again, if you've got a mother and you've got one of these newer canteens, go see the previous videos. I give you a couple little tips and tricks, type of thing. But the heavy cover canteen, the USGI style canteen, and there's a couple other companies that make USGI style canteens as well. Those things fit inside of the GCC, now called the Deuce, easily. And so does this one, right? So that's kind of one of the reasons we went over and we've just converted the mother into the mod Deuce or the GCC is, look, the GCC can fit multiple versions of canteens, whereas the mother really, you're kind of limited to the USGI. And now one other thing I just wanted to grab, I forgot about, is, for all of our friends across the pond, you've got your Crusader canteen sets. Same thing. This guy doesn't fit in the mother, but it fits inside of the mod Deuce, aka, the old GCC. So just one more reason, better to have and not need than need not have. All right. So, all right, I already pulled my canteen out of my mother. I guess I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna show you one thing, and you see it in the picture. So again, this is a 2 canteen cup system. Now, something that he used to go by Blue Dog Scout. I think he's the Orange Shepherd now. He kind of turned. He's got some great photos, and he really is a 2-cup kind of king, if you want to call it. He's really done some cool baking, shared a lot of little secrets, and one of those secrets, before we get into this little loadout, is this little bad boy right here. Actually, let me see if that'll show up a little bit better. All right, so this is by a company called Purcell Trench. And Blue Dog Scout had reached out to that guy to special make this this grate. And this thing is awesome, super lightweight. You can clearly see you could easily get 2 hamburgers, a large steak, between 4 and 6 brats, on this, and you have this in your fire. And I've got this out for another reason, because with the mod Deuce, I can carry this in the internal slip pocket. Here, talking and doing, I'll just show you right now. So the internal slip pocket in the rear, right? So that's for the canteen cup lid, for small stoves, and in this case, the Purcell Trench, this grill. Now you could strap it to the outside, but it fits down inside of there. There's a slightly better angle. Yeah, it fits down inside of there really nicely. So just another reason to have, right? Better to have and not need than need not have. And even if you don't have one of these grates, or if you've got some other type of grate, and I know there's a lot of you out there who are big into the folding stoves, because where you live, you can't just have a fire. You got to have a controlled fire. So this now gives you a lot more options for many of those stoves. I personally I only own 2, and I only own them because for videos, right? So I've got a firebox and an ember lit. So anyway, moving on. Matter of fact, we'll just kind of go here. So like I just said, we're kind of going to do the loadout. So Purcell Trench. Hey, I wonder if this is going to be better if you, kind of just spoon down a little bit there. Spoon zoom in. There you go. That'll work right there. And I'll get the computer out of the way. All right. So now here, I'll just kind of keep going. So, and I always carry a little Mora knife. Look, I mean, for the bang for the buck, for the cost of these things, they're great little knives. They've got a fire starting. So I've got redundancy when it comes to my fire capabilities. So, that guy, now you can either slide him through the rear. There's a couple people who do that, who will run it actually through the molly on the rear. And I'm just kind of half-assing it to show you, but that's an option. Or you can still get it inside. Now, when you put the grill inside of here, that's going to kind of complicate things. So I'm going to keep this out for a second, because I didn't have it over on the other side. On the other one, I had my canteen cup lid. And that's all I have in here. And then I still got my canteen cup in here. Now I'm going to start off with the regular heavy cover, because I want to illustrate something. Then I'll go over to the more squared off USGI. So on the heavy cover, and whether it was the mother or the mod Deuce, look, you can put this straight in. It'll fit. But my recommendation to everybody is just always come in sideways, get it in there, and then give it a little twist. And you can do it with the canteen in there as well. All right, let me put the canteen cup lid in here. All right, so now I think that'll show up smooth. Here, I'll come to this angle right there. All right, let me just kind of, okay, so here you go. So right now I know there's somebody saying, well, but see, when this was the mother, that canteen rode up this high. But now when it's the mod Deuce, it rides low. Okay, well, that's great. Better to have and not need than need and not have, right? So, if you're running a multi-cup system, stack your cups. That's going to lift it up. Let me actually just pull. Here we go. Well, that might be a little bit too large, but we'll see. But Spoon just handed me a little first aid kit thing that he's got in his. So tuck that in the bottom, or it could be a set of gloves or a handkerchief or socks. For the love of God, start carrying socks when you're out hiking. I mean, foot maintenance is I'm going to have to do a video on that as we get into spring.
Repairing my vehicle at all times.
Well, but I'm just talking about like just the importance of your feet and good socks and proper sock maintenance. All right, so I just put that kit in the bottom. I'm just kind of giving you an idea. So just stack something on the bottom. Take advantage of that space down below, and then put your cups and your canteen system on top of it, right? You'll have just more room that you can then take out of a rucksack or off your waistline. And you can see, I mean, that's pretty dang thick right there. You know, that's almost 2 inches. That's 1 3/4 inches, right? So, you know, just stuff some stuff in the bottom. Take advantage of the opportunity in the space. That's super light. Why don't you want to have a boo-boo kit with you? You're hiking, you should have a boo-boo kit. Heck, that could be a foot maintenance kit inside there too, right? You know, that could be part of your boo-boo kit. But then that'll get the canteen up higher, and there you go. Now you can see if I was just, this was slung, I could sit and drink it, you know, from the carrier all day long. And that is kind of the same thing. I'm just going to keep this guy in here. Actually, let me take it back a step. Same thing. So I pulled out the interior. I'm just going to put this style canteen. I don't know what you really want to call it, but, and now, so again, same thing, that rides lower in there, right? So when we made the GCC originally, the Mod Deuce, you know, you're trying to accommodate so many different types of canteens and cups and bottles, and, you know, and then I guess that was the last one for our friends overseas, you know, the Crusader, right? And so that's it. So you're trying to find that perfect little zone. But then in order to do that, you know, as I just pointed out, it creates a little bit of bottom space. We'll take advantage of that. Put socks in there, handkerchief, you know, everything we just talked about, right? So, I mean, honestly, kind of dumb doing a load out video, but that's really the point right there. But I guess I'll still do it anyway. Just, you know, this will be kind of boring. But here, I'm just going to kind of pull out the stuff that I have. And this is dummy corded on. So just give me a second. So I always carry a little keychain with just little knickknacks, and that actually just gets dummy corded. I'll throw that on later. And then inside here, I've got a fire kit, extra lighter. And that's actually all I had in the side pocket, right? This is going to be just like, you're going to laugh. You already get the point. If I just put that in there by itself, you know, those two items, you know, used to come up near the top of the pocket. I'm not even halfway. I mean, here, I don't know if that'll, I'm turning it the wrong way. Yeah, there you go. I mean, look at that. So you just have that much more capability, that much more space. Therefore, you should be that much more prepared when you're out in the field, right? Because this is, if you think this is just a canteen cover, you know, you're grossly mistaken. Speaking of socks, just throw your canteen in a sock then, if that's what you're looking for. This is incredibly robust, over the shoulder, you know, your mission critical kind of gear is inside of here. All right. Yeah, let's go to the front. And then, you know, on all of our products now, you know, on the Mod Deuce and other things, but you can get a little Velcro patch panel up there if you want. So over here on my side, what I used to carry. So here you go. Here's a little small stove, and then a sil nylon tarp. That was taking up the whole pocket.
Well, you could stuff that whole thing at the bottom of yours.
Well, there you go. I mean, there's another just idea. See, you know, I'm looking up here, but you got the camera down low, so I'm looking in the wrong places. But Spoon just had a good point. You could have put that sil nylon tarp down in the bottom, and then, you know, here, pan it up a little bit on me. Yeah, there you go. You could have put that sil nylon tarp in the bottom instead of that, you know, boo-boo kit. You get the point. Put something else in there and then put your canteen on top of that, right? But so that's out of there now. And I'm not going to take, you can see the other little knickknacks. I'll take those off in a second. That's another ferrule rod, another chem light just coming over to the other side pocket. And here I've got a fat rope stick, some cordage, another little dummy cord kind of thing full of little Night Eyes figure 9s, right? And that was my whole side pocket. Again, empty pocket. That rope stick. I'm just shoving it in here for the video, and you know, again, you're already getting the point. You guys are smart. Like, I still have tons of room in there. I could have put a lot more in there, like a cleaning rod or something else of that nature. So, I mean, kind of not even really going to go into too much more with it, just simply because you get the point, you know. And then, you know, Purcell trench, or you could do that on the backside if you wanted, you know, have your knife through there. And seriously, boys and girls, you know, that's food, fire, water, shelter. You can just come to me. We're kind of done with that. But that's food, fire, water, shelter. I mean, shoot, move, communicate, get home, 10 C's, whatever, however you want to call it. All of that in an over the shoulder, you know, easy carry, easy to configure. You know, well, I'm doing this in this environment today and I'm doing that, and these other people are with me tomorrow, whatever the case is. But now you've got that mission critical, those mission critical items right there over your shoulder, easy to carry, easy to attach to other items, still drink right out of it. You know, and I'm going to just put a little joke, a little humor. And, you know, and God bless the people who've asked me this. You know, I've had people say, well, there's not a lid on it. And, you know, we were thinking about making a lid, and we probably still will. But, you know, if you've seen just any of the recent videos, you know, one of the most difficult things we have is, like, you know, labor, finding people who even know how to sew, let alone sew at this level, blah, 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 blah. So we're not going to do the cover for right now, but it is in the drawing, you know, it's in the works. But my answer, and that's kind of tripping me up and making me laugh, is because I just keep thinking, I'm like, yeah, so what? So if some dirt or a branch gets in there, whoopie do, you know, I mean, whoopie, you know, take it upside down, shake it out. I mean, it's not, you know, it's outdoor gear, man. You know, it's supposed to get dirty. Go out and get it dirty. I actually would be surprised if you say, hey, I went out, I was hiking and I was having a lot of fun and everything came back clean and there wasn't a single leaf or a branch or anything in my gear. I'd be like, well, you weren't doing it right. You were doing something wrong. All right. On that note, I think that kind of covers it. You know, just a down and dirty. The Mod Deuce used to be called the GCC. Now it's the Mod Deuce, the M2, the second gen mother, because it's really the same product. It's just larger and better to have and not need than need and not have. Right. So I think that kind of sums it up. All right. On that note, you know the deal. You reach out to me anytime if you got questions or comments. I'll do the best I can to help you out. And until then, you know, keep thinking, keep moving, never quit. Now let's see if I can end this properly this time. All right, everybody.